Mr. Alan Smith, how are you doing, sir? I hope today finds you in good health, good fortune, and good luck. We're doing a cooking live stream today. I don't know if you've seen any of the others. We did filet mignon last night. But today, we're going to do Japanese real ramen. Well, I had to turn my my light on here. You know how trucks are, the crappy lights that are in them. So, put up my my actual photography video light. Try to make it a little bit nicer in here. I need to get a few more things to make the videos even better, but we're going to do what we can. So we're going to get ourselves kind of set up here. Not perfect setup because we're in a truck, but we will do as we can. As long as we can find all of our appropriate accoutrement. Mr. Nathaniel Lee, how are you doing? Put that up front. All right. Get this little trash bag on the floor out the way. All right. Yeah. Just got to move some things around, of course. So, but we will we'll try to get ourselves set up here so we can do what we're going to do. Where am I now? Right here. You see me, don't you? No, we are in Williams, Iowa, right off of I-35. Tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, we're going to pick up a oversized load, and we're going to hopefully be able to get, things set the way they need to be. So, but at the moment, we're just going to get ourselves somewhat set in the truck here, pick things up, put things out the way so we can do what we're going to do here. Hopefully. All right, so we're going to get out a few ingredients that we need. All right, let's see here. And hopefully we can find everything that we need. So we need a wok. This is going to be the pot we use. A nice versatile dish. All right, let's see here. Yeah, let's see. I just don't have the room for everything that I need or want. So we have to always kind of compromise a little bit here. If I can find my my stuff here, we'll be good to go. And I just can't find it. But we're going to do what we can. Josh Warmke, how you doing? So, we have real imported Japanese ramen noodles. We're going to use one of these little packs here. We also have soba noodles, which are, these are made with wheat. These are made probably with buckwheat, which is a little bit different. Okay, but we got ourselves a nice ramen bowl, which we are going to be using. But at the moment, we're just going to set that off to the side. Okay, we're going to use one of these packs of ramen noodles. And we're going to make as close to a real, straight out of Japan, super authentic ramen. Not the little packs that you get for 10 cents at the in the bargain aisle at Walmart. That most everybody assumes is real ramen. This is, like I said, this is actual made in Japan, imported from Japan, what Japanese people will eat. So, looks kind of like spaghetti, but they're noodles, so there you go. So you can see right there, product of Japan. Now, I typically prefer a little bit longer noodle, personally. I like a more of a yellow noodle, but we will do as we can. So we need a little bit of black pepper. So this is the typical ramen noodle that you are going to see, that most people are going to use. Now, I don't use the little packet in here. I'll only use the noodle if I use this. But why use this, run-of-the-mill dime store piece of garbage when you can have, 5-star, a Yugo, a Ferrari, let's be frank and honest with ourselves, Make sure we have our ingredients out here. All right, let me see. And it's around here somewhere. Oh, got some barbecue sauce. Milk thistle. If I don't find my my soup base, I'll be really upset. Now, let me look up here. Nope. Unfortunately not. I don't know what I did with it. I know it's not in there. Let's take a peek up here. Is it up here? It might be. And maybe not. I don't know where it is. Yep. But that's part of the fun. Searching for stuff. Not really. Well, we got a little bit of the sushi, or I mean the seaweed. We need that. Oh man, I don't know what happened to one of the few ingredients that I truly needed. Yes. See, unfortunately, when you have no room, you start putting things in places that you shouldn't put things, and things get lost. Let's see, that's milk thistle extract. Yeah. Beetroot. Walsh Farms, how you doing? Margaret Clark, how we doing there? Omega-3 soft gels. Not what I need. Let's see, what's this? Bee pollen, stinging nettle. Nope. I know that ain't it. I don't know what I did with it. Maybe it's up here. Let's see. Got a t-shirt. Ah, here we are. I knew it was around here. So we got some monk fruit sweetener, which I have yet to really use, but there you go. But this is our soup base. So this actually has real ingredients. So we got types of fish, types of seaweed, types of mushroom in here. Nothing edited. Work them in. So it's got a little zipper bag here. Little stay fresh bag. There we go. And inside there, we have basically what looks like a little tea bag. So we need one of those. We're going to make our soup base with some of that. So we got a little piece of beef up here, which we are going to use as some of our base as well. And like I said, we're gonna try to do as close to a real Japanese as you would get in Japan. You know, ramen. Get an extra cleaning of the hands here, just to be on the safe side. So we are, like I said, we are at the pilot here in Williams, Ohio, Iowa, right off of I-35. I forget the number here. We got to get ourselves somewhat respectable here. All right, put that in there. Grab me a towel to wipe off my hands with. So, like I said, this is going to be the closest you can possibly get to a real Japanese authentic ramen anywhere near a truck stop in the United States. Now, I lived in Japan for 10 years of my life. Let's just say I have a familiarity with real Japanese food. And I don't mean sushi. Sushi is one of those things, yes, I am happy it got all over the world and that lots of people love sushi. But one, they don't know what real sushi is. Two, most of the places that do what they call sushi is like most other things, it's been Americanized, and let's just say I am not one to to partake. Now, the first part of that is when I lived in Japan, I did not eat sushi. Let me plug this computer in here real quick. There we go. For the simple reason was sushi has not been fully elevated to this idea of high food, haute cuisine or whatever they want to call it. It's sushi started out as a street food, as a simple, quick meal for the poor people. Which that's fine, but I don't want it. I don't need it. I ain't going to use it. All right, so we are going to be using a quote-unquote French ingredient, some better than bouillon demi-glace, soy sauce, my soup stock, which is called dashi, D-A-S-H-I, if we're going to spell it in English. Let me see here. I had a little piece of beef here yesterday. I don't know what I did with it. Let me see. So we got a little bit of onion. We got some green onion. Here we go. Little piece of beef. We're going to use that too. We're also going to use a we're gonna soft boil and we're gonna kind of medium boil an egg, kind of right between a hard boiled egg and a soft boiled egg. And we don't need anything else. No. Put that mozzarella back in there. Yeah. We don't need the garlic. We don't need the butter. Let's close that on up. Okay. So, like I said, we got a bit of green onion, a little bit of beef, some yellow onion, an egg, a little bit of seaweed. We got our dashi powder, demi-glace for the beef flavor, bit of soy sauce to flavor that as well, an egg, a little bit of black pepper, and our imported from Japan ramen noodles. All right, so let us find our stuff here. All right. Okie doke. Now it's time to get started. Pam Babcock, good morning or afternoon. I don't know what it is anymore. All right. Now, the computer is a little bit further away than what I did yesterday, but hopefully we can all get along here. Get something to drink. Put that there. So we're going to aim that like that. Move things around here so we can do what we need to do. So we're going to put those up in the bowl. All right. Move some ingredients around, move some things so we can actually do what we need to do. Okay, so first things first, let's get this properly set so we can actually do this without killing ourselves. TJ Jones, howdy. All right, so let's get ourselves sort of set here. All right. Let me grab a thing of water here. All right. Set that right there. And let's see here. We got I don't know what I do with it. don't know what I did with it. Oh well, we'll find it later. Sometimes you just gotta throw caution to the wind. All right, so we're gonna get an egg. We're gonna get this egg boiled right in the pan there. Now, unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit longer because we don't have as much power as we would like. Use this lid, this pan here, as a lid to raise that pressure in there. While we do that, we'll get a few other things prepared here. So we're going to get a nice little bowl here. We're going to get our little vegetable cleaver that we used a little bit yesterday. Well, we showed yesterday, but we didn't actually use. Okay, so take a little bit of onion. We'll take this onion. A little bit in there. Come on out of there. Throw that there. Just throw that out the way there. We don't need it in our way. Now, some of this will go into the soup stock, and some of it will go as garnish for the top. So, the green onion, the same thing. We're going to use one for the soup stock, and we're going to use one for the garnish on the top at the end. Well, maybe we'll do two. We'll take the best little bits because this is seeing the end of its usefulness here. Oh man, that filet mignon last night was absolutely fantastic. Linda Barker, how are we doing? Yeah, sorry about the live stream today, but you know, going down the road, you don't always get to have the best signal when you get out in the middle of nowhere. Let's put this over here. That right down here. So we're going to set a little alarm here. Come on. Alarm clock, here we go. Let's set this for 12 minutes. That should be enough for that to boil the way I need it to. We will see. So we're going to cut that leaf off there. That up in there. Cut the bad bits off the tip. Cut that right there. I'm going to take this outer leaf off of here from this section. There we go. And this part is this little bit's going to go into the soup stock. Strip this one off here. Cut the bad bits off. Cut that off there. Alright. I'm going to take that little bit off there too. Why not? Why not? Let's see. We do the same to this one. Take that outer leaf off all the way down to the root. Cut the root off there. Trim the tops. So we're going to do the same thing like we did last night for the for that. We're going to cut this in like a diagonal pattern. Not as thin as we did yesterday. We're going to cut it, you know, nice bigger pieces. A little bit more, texture. So we got that going. All right. And now we need a little bowl here because we're going to do a little marinade of this beef here real quick. So this is the remainder of that filet mignon we did, that little tip we cut off to get that sort of round. And before we put that on, Lori's Crochet Corner, how you doing? So here's it's a little bit of chuck roast. Let's see, there we go. We got a little kitchen scale here. Let's throw that up in here real quick. Let me, there's my wipes, there we go. So we got a little kitchen scale here. We got just a, I'm gonna wipe that down, get that cleaned off a little bit. Sure we are. Yeah, we're on pounds and ounces there. There we go. So this little piece of beef, 2.1 ounces of beef there. Wipe that off. Put that away. Turn it off. There. And so we're going to take this. We're just going to cut nice little slices here. Nice and thin. We don't want to, we want this to cook fairly quickly. Plus we want to marinate fairly quickly as well, so a little bit more of the fat right there. So we're going to make, like I said, we're going to make a little marinade for this real quick. Just as a little bit of a garnish, a little something extra to add to the very end. Okay. So we're going to take just a small bit of crushed red pepper. Like I said, we're not trying to make this super hot. We just want to give it a little bit of a spice. A little bit of the old black pepper. That's boiling. Let me turn up the AC just a little bit. So I apologize for the noise. A little bit of black pepper. And a good splash of the kikkoman, which is a Japanese soy sauce, which is the only soy sauce I will ever use. Whenever I order any kind of Chinese food, I use this. You know, I won't use the little stupid rancid little packets that they give you free. It's like, no thanks. I don't want that. Here, I gotta grab me a pair of chopsticks here. There we go. So we're gonna mix up the beef here, get those spices moved around, get that soy sauce on all surfaces. We're going to try to separate the little individual little slices here a little bit. Get that all nice together. There we go. There we go. All right, so we got our beef ready. We got our onion, for the topping, and also some for the soup base when we start that. Now, normally a good ramen will have a good ramen will typically, no matter what style of soup you use, typically a good ramen will have a piece of pork belly that's been kind of roasted, on top. And of course, from the north of Japan all the way to the south, ramen varies from region to region. So that's steaming up nice and good. We'll get that egg all done here. In about another 5 minutes, that should be done the way we want it to. Hopefully, like I said, I haven't done a lot of egg boiling in the truck. So I'm still playing with the timing with this particular hot plate. So if it doesn't come out with that sort of semi-runny yolk, that's the traditional way to do it. We're going to see if we can get close to that. So let's put this out the way. Now, need let's see, we're going to use a nice Japanese ramen bowl. This has also been imported from Japan because I refuse to eat off of paper plates. I refuse to eat out. I'll use these plastic ones for something quick, something I really don't care about. You know, like, in the morning when I make a bit of oatmeal, I just throw it in this. It's not a sit down enjoyment kind of meal. It's something you just get up and go. But I use these more for prepping my food. Okay. So we also, like I said, we got some. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know where I put it now. I'm just losing everything today, including my marbles. I don't know where I put the. Oh, here it is. So, like I said, we also have some somewhat okay seaweed. So we're going to put a little bit of that on the top, but we're going to get it out, get it prepped, so that we have it properly, cooked. So let's go ahead and open this up here. So we're going to take one. You can grab just one. One sheet of nori, N-O-R-I, nori, which is a chopped up, dried, and processed, which makes these thin sheets. So, kind of like what they do to hot dogs. They chop off all the meat and they make it into a tube. Well, that's kind of sort of what they're doing here. You can see the light through it. Let me so you can see the light through it. So it's not super thick, which we don't want super thick. We don't want. It's not a piece of beef jerky that we want to we want to steam this a little bit, get a little more pliable. Now, normally you would do that over a bed of coals, a bed of charcoal. We're just going to use the steam a little bit to heaten it up. Because we want that a little bit more pliable. Oh, you're making ramen now as well. There we go. Okay. Now I think we're getting close to what we want here. There we go. There we go. So we're gonna take this square here, which there's my hand, just about covers it. So we're gonna cut that just like that. Let's see. There we go. Cut that again in half. That's the reason why we steamed it and warmed it up a little bit. We didn't want it to tear as much. All right. So we're going to take this, put that right there, a little bit of this, cut that in half like that. Going to cut that in half again. We're going to cut it in half again. Now, this is all the seaweed I'm going to actually use out of that piece. Now, like I said, we don't want a lot because we don't want any. This is just a part of it. It's not the entirety of it. So, let me find a. Thank you. All right. So our egg should be done. Move this out the way. Put that right up there. So we got a little scoop. Take that, set that to the side for a moment. We got to find a place for it. And here we go. Set that right off there. All right, so we got to take our ingredients as we can and find a place for them. All right, so the excess we're going to put right back in here. We'll find a zipper bag to put these in. We'll put these strips right back in here. All right. Set that off to the side right there. All right. So we want to take a moment here. This is the problem with cooking in a truck. You just have no room for anything. Set that right there. Put this around here. Set that right there. We're going to go ahead and cook our beef. And in the meantime, while this water is still hot, that's going to be a little bit too little of the soup, maybe. No, that'll be enough soup. Okay? Because the soup and the water we boil the noodles in are separate things. I hate sitting down. Lori, I hate it. This is the worst part about cooking in a truck. If I had a countertop to stand up at, I'd be so much happier. This is truly uncomfortable. So here's our Japanese soup stock called dashi. Let's see if it says it on here. Nope, this is all, well, here it says on the back. Umami dashi soup stock. So we're going to take this, just like you're steeping, just like a tea bag. You throw that in there. Get up. So that's going to, that's going to steep just like, just like a tea bag. So we're going to put some green onion in here. We're going to put some yellow onion in here. We're gonna let those flavors steep out for a little bit. Getting our pan nice and hot for the beef. Like I said, we got just about 2.1 ounces of beef right there. We need a little bit of oil. Bacon really wouldn't do too good with this. Olive oil doesn't go well with this. It's not a traditional. Butter would not be good for this. A little bit of pork fat without the meat, so a little bit of actual lard would be okay, but I'm just going to use some canola oil. I'm trying to find a small bottle of peanut oil, but just can't seem to find anywhere that carries peanut oil in a thing this small. So just a touch of oil. Get that in. We get that oil properly heated. Get that handle out the way so we don't accidentally knock it. Hopefully. So we're going to take I need another plate, I think. All right. There we go. We're going to put our seaweed right here, just so we can keep it from getting broken up and damaged and falling all over the place. All right. So the soy sauce and everything goes right in. That goes there. Get ourselves a Yeah, here we go. Gonna go ahead and clean our bowl out real quick. Set that right there. Clean that as well. Fast and easy cleanup for the truck. You know, little wipes like this, little disinfecting wipes, work wonders. You clean it up immediately, things don't stick. So, you know, that always helps. There we go. Plus, I got these bowls at Walmart. You know, 50 cents for one of these bowls. Doesn't stain. Doesn't melt in the microwave. Hot food, cold food. Doesn't crack in the freezer. These were actually a pretty good buy. I mean, like I said, 50 cents at like on the end cap of Walmart. I got picked up like 3 or 4 of those. All right. So our beef is got a little bit of color on it. And we're going to use this pan as well for the remainder of the soup stock. So we can get this flavor out of the pan here, simultaneously clean the pan. We're going to take a little taste test here. Like I said, just a small sprinkle of a little bit of red pepper flake gives that just a little bit of spice. Not enough to make you go, oh my God, that's hot, but you just feel it right back here at the back of the throat. All right, so the beef is done. We're going to dump that right out. There we go. We're going to swap the pans, get the soup base back on the heat. We're going to get that, that temperature back up. Use this pan as a lid. Go. Do a little bit of cleaning here. Even though this had just a little bit of water on it, we're going to clean it like it had something dirty on it. My signal seems to be okay. Let me double check here. I got 3 bars, 4G LTE on my internet, so I think it might just be one of them things. All right. Stick that in there. Clean off our knife. All right. Like I said, when you clean your knife, be careful of that edge. Always, if you're going to do that, go away from it. All right? If you have to touch the edge, push away from the edge. All right. Okie doke. Let me find my sheath. Stick that in there, and we are done with all that. There we go. Clean this off here. Stick that off to the side there. There we go. Okay. So let's see how we're doing. So a little bit of cloudiness in the dashi. We're going to kind of fluff the bag here a little bit to try to encourage a little more flow through the bag. There we go. Put that on there. We're going to swap pans here. So we're going to get that flavor out of that beef. Like I said, this is what the soup is actually going to set in. We're going to put some water in here. This is what we're going to boil the noodles in. The noodles get boiled separately by themselves. And then you take them out You shake off that excess water, then you put them into the soup base. We're gonna not try to poke a hole in this bag. We're gonna get some of that. Try to scrub the bottom here, get some of them, get some of that flavor off the bottom. Right. All right, so we're gonna take just a dab of the Better Than Bouillon. So we're just taking a little just a little tiny bit, you know, a couple of grams. Get that in there. Let that disperse. That's going to add some beef flavor to the to this, and you make it nice and rich. A little bit of Kikkoman soy sauce as well. It's going to take care of some of the color and the flavor. It's going to add a little bit of salt, of course. And of course, the onions are going to do their thing. And as that demi-glace paste dissolves, it's going to disperse. You get some of that, you know, the flavor out of the mushrooms and the fish and the seaweed that's in this little packet. Let's put a lid on that to bring that to a boil. There we go. And let's see here. Let's just double check that we, in case we need a little bit larger pan, we're just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit larger pan for this. So, no worries. These are just a bit too long to sit down in there deep enough. Not a problem. We will make do as we can. Take a little more piece of that beef. Yum. Okay, like I said yesterday, and definitely like I said today on the live stream while we were going down the road here in, you know, right after we got into Iowa. From now on, what we're going to do is Saturday, the cooking show, I'm just going to make whatever I actually want that day. So if I want to make pancakes, I'm making pancakes. I want to make an omelet. I want to make a cheeseburger. I want to do ribs. It'll be what I decide. But come Thursday, Friday at the latest, I'm going to put out there a selection of a meal for people to decide, you know, what choice we're gonna have for a meal on Sunday. So you'll have 2 or 3 days to see what recipe I'm gonna put up there, and then we're going to right as the live stream starts, we're gonna take a vote, and then we're gonna prepare the meal right on the fly, right there. So if I say we have chili, we're going to have lasagna, we're going to do a hamburger and macaroni casserole, we're going to do burritos, or we're going to do just hamburger fried with some vegetables and rice. You know, all those things will be based upon hamburger as the main thing. And then all the other ingredients I'll make sure I have so we can go any of those directions. And everybody will just take a vote on what they would like to see done. Oh, that's looking good, looking good. All right. So this is almost done for that. Next, we need a larger pan, unfortunately, so we can do the, yeah, here's the lid. All right, so you need a larger pan to be able to actually cook the noodles, so the noodles will actually be able to sit in there properly. I'll put that right there. Let us take this off here. That like that. So now we got this smaller pan pretty much clean. We get our little universal lid. Stick that on there, a little bit tighter seal. We got a universal lid for the square pan there. But first things first, let's get our pan here. So, like I said, by Thursday, Friday at the latest, I'm going to try to post the video announcement with a description of the ingredients. I'll do that on Facebook and on YouTube. You know, do like a preliminary video. All right, so this is nice and clean. We can set this off to the side. All right. Hopefully we get that to a quick boil. Then we can start the noodles. Then once the noodles are completely done, we don't need to really do anything else. All right, so we just need to put everything, quote unquote, together. So we got ourselves pardon me, we got our Instant Pot strainer, which those in there, cook those as well. So here's the bowl we're going to make everything in. We're just going to put our strainer in there. We're going to pour it through there. We're going to strain out the onion and the bag, and make sure it's all nice and clear stock in there in the bowl here. Definitely need a haircut here. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to lay in our seaweed. We're going to lay in the egg, and we're going to lay in our onion on top of that. Make it nice and pretty. All right. Where do I find the ingredients? Well, near my sister's house in Marietta, Georgia, there is a really great little Japanese grocery store, and one of the very few actual Japanese restaurants that I can stand to go to. Lasagna will be tough, but I can do lasagna in the Instant Pot. So we can do that without a problem. It's just like I said, that's just an example of what we might be able to do. Chicken, lamb, shrimp. We're gonna have if you ever seen the TV show on the Cooking Network, the cooking channel called Iron Chef, you have a main ingredient, then you have all the stuff that supports that, and we can go any way we want with that. Well, unfortunately, the reason why it wasn't boiling, it came unplugged. There we go. Let's plug that bad boy right back in. There we go. Wondering why it was taking so long. Accidentally came unplugged. Ready? It will be a little bit challenging to do things like lasagna, things that are baked, but the Instant Pot does a pretty good job with that, and we just have to see. All right, so here's our boiled egg. Let's move this out the way there. All right, that's starting to get hot again. Move that handle away so we don't knock ourselves. We're gonna, get this egg peeled. All right, take our little trash bag here. Now the whites are done. And hopefully we have a little bit of a slightly underdone yolk. Hopefully, you know, like I said, I don't boil a lot of eggs in the truck. When I do, I just go ahead and fully hard boil them. I've not ever done a poached egg or a soft boiled egg in the truck as of yet. So if it isn't perfectly done the way I want it to be, excuse me. So there's our peeled egg. Just set it aside right there. Let me find my drink here. And yes, manicotti. There you go. Actually, since you say manicotti, I do have some ricotta cheese up in here. Manicotti might be a possibility. I have the pasta maker. I can make fresh pasta, cream with the ricotta cheese filling, a little bit of hamburger, fry that up, make a nice ragu with some tomato sauce. That is definitely a possibility. All right. The soup base, as far as I'm concerned, is done. All right, so we're just gonna let that sit on the side. There we go. Try to make sure we're not knocking that handle out of our way. So now we got our noodles. Let me get things. So our ramen noodles here. Set that to the side. Get those little two out of there. Put that on there. Now the problem with this type of recipe is there's a lot of hot water hanging around, so you got to be extra careful when you're doing things. Make sure you got a handle out the way. We'll put a lid on that to bring that up to a boil. We are not going to salt the water. This is not pasta. Egg drop soup I've done before. I know 3 different individual recipes for egg drop soup. I'm not a big fan of egg drop soup, but like I said, I have the ability to do that. We have YouTube. I have cookbooks. There you go. Hey, Mr. Stephen Huber, how you doing, sir? So we got our soup base. Let me just check the seasoning here real quick. Get a nice little. It's not too cloudy. You have no idea, what this does. The authentic Japanese soup base. This just transported me, 10,000 miles or 10,000 or 9,000, whatever miles it is, back to Japan instantaneously. Thank God for Amazon being able to give me that. Now, like I said, the ramen noodles you can get on Amazon. The dashi powder, soup base, you get that on Amazon. You can order Japanese ramen bowls online. You can get almost everything you need to make it as close to authentic as possible, which is what I want. So we're going to let those onions in that steep just a tiny bit more. Wait for that water to boil. Come on. Like I said, we got some beef. Normally that would be a piece of pork. We got our onions. We got our seaweed. All we got to do is get the noodles boiled up. We're going to get it all in the pot, in the bowl properly, and then we're going to enjoy. Pardon me. Now, and like I always say, you know, I may be living in a truck, working from this truck, but I refuse to eat the garbage that comes out of that truck stop. The Wendy's, the McDonald's, the Hot Bar, the Denny's and Huddle House and whatever they serve. They're going to do the absolute minimum in order to make the greatest profit. It'll keep you alive, but, you know, if I can do the work myself and really enjoy it, I'm going to do that. You know, I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness just for a cheap meal. I mean, look around at your typical truck driver. Miserable, out of shape, half of them overweight. They eat like pigs. And I don't mean to insult a pig, but you know what I mean. Yep, it's starting to warm up. Not hot enough, but starting to warm up. Like I said, once we get the, like I said, you know, I just have this, I don't know if you want to call it a psychological, you know, predilection to doing it myself. Like, you know, it's that old expression: if you want something done right, do it yourself. So I will, you know. Oh, but I don't like cleaning. I don't like all the work. It's too hard. If it's too hard, don't do it. But don't think that it's that difficult that you can't. I mean, there are people out there who buy a $300,000, $500,000 house, get this nice big fancy kitchen, and never use it. Oh, I put double ovens in here, and you know, they never use them. They don't even buy their own coffee maker. They'll get up and go to Starbucks and spend $7, $8, whatever dollars it is for a cup of coffee when they can make it at home a lot cheaper and a lot better. Now, in this particular instance, it is about comparable to what I can get at a good ramen shop. Comparable. That's if I'm actually at that ramen shop. Now, I'm going to spend, well, this was about, I think, $12 for this thing of dashi soup, and there's 15 bags. 15 bags in this here, so about $1 a bag for this. The ramen, I think, was like $9, $10 for 5 sticks, so that's $2 each for that. You know, 25 cents for the green onion, about 20 cents for the regular onion. You know, maybe a quarter for all the water I'm using, the salt and pepper, and you know, the demi-glace. You know, we're talking pennies for all that stuff. You know, an egg, a little bit of beef. But, you know, in total, this meal is going to be maybe $5, $10. You know, in that range, you know, which is typically less you're going to pay at a restaurant. Especially a decent one that actually makes it the way it's supposed to be made. Now, all right, we got some boiling water here. We're going to take that. We're just going to throw that right up to the side here. Set that down there for a moment. All right, so boiling water. Let's take our noodles here. It's got a little paper, strap on it. If I can find it, open it up here. There we go. Take that little wrapper off. That portion control wrapper, we're going to dump that in there. We're going to be trying to be as gentle with this as possible because we don't want to be breaking up the noodles. We want them nice and as long as possible. We don't want them sticking together either, which they're not going to do as readily as, a pasta would. A little bit different recipe. I want to try to make sure they get separate there. And we'll stir that a couple of times, but we want to get that temperature back up, get that boiling again. So we are almost done here. So let me find get some things out the way here. I'm going to take this little, I don't want to take that towel. That's polyester. I want to take a cotton towel over here. There we go. We're going to move our soup base out the way. Try to get that somewhat level. There we go. Ramen bowl. Right? Shake off that water. Put that out the way. Down there. We're going to take our strainer here. Get this handle out the way here. We're going to try to pour this nice and slow. I'll take a towel here just to be on the safe side so it doesn't, in case it drips. Let me do it this way here. So you want to strain out all the onion in that bag. There we go. Set that right there for a moment. While we get a towel to clean this with. Down. So clean it as fast as possible. Less chance of things sticking. Less cleanup to do. Throw that down there. Take our towel. Dry that off. Put that in with the other ones here. There we go. Let that drip. All right. Get our trash bag here, which has plenty of paper towels and our little wipes in there, so any liquid that's going to slip out, come out as well is going to get into that, so it's not going to leak. There we go. That'll take a little bit more to clean, but we're good. All right. Our noodles are looking good. Nice and softening up. Oh yeah, there we go. Not sticking together, looking nice. So here is our nice soup base. Yep, you gotta be careful, don't shake that too much. All right, so we're gonna put the noodles in first, then we'll get the other ingredients on top of it. So we're gonna move this towel out the way, you don't need that there. Get another little taste of this. Oh, wow. Man. Like I said, that takes me right back to Japan. 30 years in my past. Well, 30, wow. Going on 33 years. It's still a part of me, so there you go. All right, so let's. All right, our noodles are done. All right, we're going to take our strainer again here. Pull our noodles out. Stick them in here real quick. Like I said, we want to drain off that excess water. So this is 1 serving of noodles. We don't want these to be super soft. We want these to be what the Italians and what everybody knows as al dente. A little bit of chew to them, just a little bit of bite that you have to actually chew. Last one here. The chopsticks will cooperate. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we're going to turn that off. Put this lid back on so we don't drop anything in there. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to take our noodles, put them in there. That good so far. Let's get a knife here. I'm going to cut this egg. Yeah, a little bit overdone on the yolk, but still acceptable. I'm going to set that right there like that. Going to lay up our beef right there. We'll stick that to the side there. We'll clean that in a moment. A little bit of raw onion. We're not going to put all this yellow onion there. Just a little bit. A couple more pieces. Go. I'm going to take a little bit of the green onion. Right there. Wish I had a little bit more of the dark green portion, but there you go. We'll put as much in there as we can find. Here we go. Set that off to the side. A little bit of seaweed. Stick right there. There we go. There you go. So dinner is served. Let's see if we can get a better shot by moving the actual camera here. A nice bowl of Japanese, almost 100% authentic. All right. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I grew up, using them. Chopsticks are easy. Chopsticks are easy. You have your hand here. Put that in there. Doesn't matter which finger you start with down here. Well, let's just start with this finger because I can use that one just fine. Or use that one there. So your thumb just locks it in. This one doesn't move. Put the other one right on top. Right? Just like that. Like I said, the top one is the only one that moves. And you see it just rides on the other finger like that. Like I said, you can do it like this. Do it like this. Whatever's the most comfortable for you. So we got a nice bowl of ramen. And of course, I'm going to take your little perfunctory picture of the of your creation. Here we go. Take a second one here. Yeah, that was a little bit better. And let's go to the old Facebookaroo. Photo. There we go. Done. Real Japanese ingredients. Made in the truck. Made in the truck, like I said. This is the bowl that we're using. Imported from Japan. A real, not plastic, bowl. Like I said, I refuse to eat out of paper or plastic. So we're going to say the traditional Japanese way of saying thanks. Miss Southern Belle, Gemini 15, always coming at the end. So, like I said, a nice old bowl of traditional Japanese ramen, Japanese ingredients. You know, so our soup base, some seaweed, and real ramen noodles in a real ramen bowl. So like I said, we're going to say the traditional Japanese way to say thank you, and basically kind of a way to say thank you for feeding me, thank you for this blessing of the food. Itadakimasu. Yes, an egg has been eaten. An egg has been made. Normally the yolk would be not as well done, but beef instead of pork tonight because I just don't have any pork. But so a nice bowl of Japanese, made in Japan and imported to America ramen. Oh. I cannot express the nostalgia that I get from this. You know, when you grow up in a place, that culture, no matter if it's Louisiana, Poland, or in my case Japan or Russia, or you're an Eskimo, the food from your youth plays a big part in how you remember things. And this is just tops of the pops for me. So a little bit of onion, a little bit of the seaweed. Everything about it. Gemini 15, I tell you, if the Japanese ever had Old Bay and they had put it in this for 200 odd years, maybe. I may be a Marylander, I may be a Baltimorean, but yeah, just some things I won't do. This is one of those dishes that when I make it, as close to traditional as possible, I will not adulterate it for anything. So I want to say thank you, every one of you, for coming in tonight. I know it's not a normal cooking day, but since I didn't do one on Saturday, I figured I'd do one today. Oh man, that's outstanding. So, Josh Warmke, Gemini 15, Miss Southern Belle, Linda Barker, Margaret Clark, Stephen Huber, Lori's Crochet Corner, number 2. Let's see who else. TJ Jones, The Bull of the Wood, Alan Smith, Friend of mine from trucking school. He making his ramen too, but he's making the little cheap pack, not doing what we're doing here. Nothing edited. Pamela Babcock, Walsh Farms. Thank you all for coming in. Nathaniel Lee. I appreciate it. So, I want to thank you all for coming in and joining me for making a traditional Japanese ramen with Japanese ingredients in Japanese dishware from a pseudo-Japanese guy. So thank you all for coming in. God bless. Tomorrow, no live stream tomorrow. No cooking tomorrow. Wednesday live stream from the road. We'll probably be doing a pickup in South Dakota in Sioux Falls tomorrow, so we might be shooting that on film, on video, I mean. And we'll watch that. It's not going to be too exciting. It's a snowblower, but we'll look at the load we do have, and we'll review the permits that we have to operate under to get us out to Oregon, and we'll go from there. Friday, driving live stream, maybe a delivery or two on Friday. Saturday, cooking, and Sunday, viewer choice for cooking. Like I said, Thursday or Friday, I'm going to put up the list of recipes that I can do. We'll do a vote once I start the live stream, and we'll just do it on the fly. Yes, sir, we are heading to SECO, or SCIO, or CO, SCIO, Oregon. So we got an oversized load going out there, so we're going to see how we do on the roads. Thank God there's no more snow in Wyoming. We just got to worry about high winds. So we'll see, how we get out there. So thank you all for coming in. I do appreciate it. God bless and have a good night.